So, if you think that arts are to survive in a new American city, it is you, not I, not Maynard Jackson, or Ivan Allen, or the mayors of today who will have to draw that map. It really is going to be those people who work in the field. Maynard opened the doors in Atlanta, but the doors cannot stay open in the way that they need to unless it is the grant makers, the arts administrators, the artists themselves. What Gary was very polite about describing Maynard's style, bold is an understatement. He was determined that not only would the door be open, that perhaps it would be taken off of its hinges and completely redefined so that people could walk through. He died at a very young age, but he had accomplished a whole lot in a short period of time. It seems to me that we have such an opportunity right now. Now, I am one, the city is doing a $3-4 billion overhaul of its sewers, and there's no art money in the overhaul. And that is a point of big contention among public arts people. It's a point of big contention among public arts folks. And they can't believe I, as a former commissioner of cultural affairs, would not include some money in the sewer money. And that is true, and it is a lively debate and discussion. But the bottom line is, unless we are going to push these doors, you see, from my standpoint, $700 billion is so much money that we already don't have, that unless the arts community, the arts leaders speak up on these issues, we will still, in the arts, 10, 15 years from now, be talking about a National Endowment for the Arts Awards of $200 million a year. This $700 billion opens the door to have a different conversation. But frankly, folks, elected officials are not going to do that easily. We're not going to do that easily. We're not going to do it easily because there are so many demands on us. So therefore, you have to tell the story. Telling the story of civil rights and how intricately involved music was in that movement tells us that arts matter to people's lives and the kind of change that we want in our lives. That's really the message. Not only are they beautiful singers, not only are they wonderful songs, these were the songs that kept people's spirits going so that they could go to the next march, make it through the march, get to the end, call their friends, not be afraid. That's what arts and culture can do for us. So I know you know about all that's going on with Arts Advocacy Day and that you are very much involved in that, and there's no question that we need to rethink the way we provide education in the United States. Arts was a part of my education. Arts was a part of Ivan Allen's education and Maynard Jackson's education, and I suspect arts was a part of your education. But today in America, arts education is underfunded, defunded, not funded. We have taken it out of the schools. And to a large extent, we expect children to find it on its own. And you know what that means? That upper middle class and middle class young people have the opportunity, and everyone else is playing around the edges, around the fringes. That will not change without you. It just is that simple. Atlanta has, since Maynard, when Maynard Jackson was elected, the city of Atlanta was spending $50,000 a year out of surplus funds at the end of the year. So as there were surplus funds from the previous year, there would be $50,000 set aside for arts funding. That's a true story. But it was arts people. It was Robert Shaw and Goodman Victel and Alice Lovelace, people in this community who'd stood up and said, that's not good enough. In the first year, they got it doubled to $100,000 through advocacy. Today, over 2 million Atlanta residents and 2.5 million visitors attend arts and cultural events in Atlanta and spend over $160 million in local businesses. There are some 2,247 arts-related businesses in Atlanta that employ 22,000 people. Atlanta ranks 34th in population in the United States, but it ranks 3rd in arts businesses per 1,000 residents and 1st in arts employees per 1,000 residents. All of that started in the period that we are discussing, when Atlanta decided that it did not want to be a sleepy little town that maybe would be a part of the latter half of the 20th century. But when Atlanta decided in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s that it wanted to be a great city, the per capita funding of the arts increased. And it's still miserably low. It is still miserably low. Per capita spending in the city of Atlanta is $1.21, and the county is $3.75, lower than Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Denver. The city of Atlanta generates 60% of the Office of Cultural Affairs, 60% of its programming comes from outside earned sources and contributed revenue.